Hello, everyone. Hi, this is Ellen Campbell with Campbell's Creations. Welcome, welcome, welcome in the room. I'm so glad you could join me today. Um, Let me get this up and turn the volume down. Okay. Let me put this in here. Okay. All right. I got messages keep jumping in from everywhere. Woo. Okay. Uh, Let me see. Can I clear this? Hello, hello. Got it. How's everybody doing today? It's cold outside for me. If y'all see the picture on this screen, I am showing y'all today what I did. I have a small quilt top that is done, and I took a picture of it. And I printed the picture out, and I actually have more than one print here. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to take a pencil. Instead of me just drawing on my quilt, I draw on the picture. So this going to help me to design this quilt into the quilting design that I think would look better on it. And I'm just going to sit here and start drawing today. I know if I'm sewing on it, I have to choose a corner, somewhere to start. So I'm going to start on this end where the star is. And we have all different kind of shapes we can start with. So I'm going to come in and do some seeds. I didn't do that right, do I? No, don't look like that's not starting off for me too good already. Now, I do have a template of some spirals I can do. Now, spirals are very beautiful. See, I have this one. It's a huge template where you put your foot in, and I know how you do it. And if you look a little closer, you see my lines and stuff in it where you line up your lines to do the quilting. And this is amazing. Okay, I'm going to start from this end. If I'm going to come in, okay, I'm just going to keep going. Bounce back. Bounce back. Since I started on one side, I'm going to kind of bounce around, kind of echoing. It's just how I get a chance to see what it'll look like. And from that section, now I can go into the next one. Come out with the spiral. And the areas around Some of these areas I will have to do a little stitching in the ditch. So, okay. I come this way, but I should have this way, move to the next. Come up and then go in and create my spiral. My reason for doing this is because a lot of new quilters don't think they can do it. And I know they can. You have to take your time. Use stitch in the ditch if you have to get you around your quilt to where you need to go. And I'm going to show y'all what I have. Give me a minute here. I'm bouncing around trying to fill in my space here. And I am using stitch in the ditch method to get me around these blocks. Get it filled in. And when you're doing stitch in the ditch, you just have to take your time. Okay. And let me show you what I have so far. Which is, nope, it's this end. There you go. See that? Just by taking a picture and they help let you feel the quilted. And you know when you drawing it like this on this picture and doing it, it gives you memory and which way you're going to go and how you're going to do it. Plus, you don't all the time have to use the rulers to quilt it. You can mix it with ruler quilting and free motion quilting. And that's exciting for me. So I'm going to get back in here. Try to stay on my line and come in. To get it spiraled out pretty good. When I get to that wall, I bounce back. And sort of like what they teach you on the Mac Tabbage channel. You just bouncing and come on back around. Go around that area with stitching in the ditch. And I'm using a pencil, y'all, so I can stay on course, keep my stitching in the ditch. So when I'm done, see how I did this triangle right here? My finger done lost. Okay, right. Let's see, where am I? Right here. I did that triangle right here. If I could keep it on view. And that kind of helps me to design these quilt tops. And I do have quite a few I have to get done and finish so I can get them all quilted up. I even have my birthday elephant I want to do. And I think I found what I'm going to put with that elephant. I have some, it sounds strange now, but I have some zebra print burlap. And I want to take that burlap and make a full bed cover quilt with it. And then I want to applicate this elephant. Excuse me, Lord, my tongue getting tired. But I want to applicate this elephant here onto the burlaps and then quilt the whole thing as a large quilt. Um, I was thinking about adding some letters and words on it as well. I haven't settled on that part, and I have about three, no. Okay, let me go grab my basket here. And I have a whole basket. I have this nursery rhyme, children thing like quilt here. I want to do Noah's Ark with the animals. It's just a variety of everything. It's biblical, and I like that. And I'm gonna add this nursery rhyme in with this, and I have this one to do. I have my old birthday blocks I made still wrapped up. I have those to do, and I have 16 large dresent plates to finish. That's one. That's three. Three. Okay, four. This gonna be four and all with sort of like vintage stars. More stars, y'all. I love my stars apparently, but more vintage prints of stars to do. Okay, I have those to complete. I think it said five, right? Then I have the elephant, which is six. And then I have two of the four-star general revisit. I'm gonna finish, and all of those going in here that I got to start just quilting. I will have a process of quilting because it's cooler now. This the better time of the season to work with quilting. So I will be quilting, and before I begin all this quilting, I'm gonna service my machine. I'm gonna do it myself. I'm gonna clean it up, clean it out, oil it up, get it going. I'm gonna get all my bobbins out. If this the one I'm gonna be using, I'm gonna get all my bobbins out, get them threaded up with the proper thread I want to use. Uh, I'm kind of running out on needles, and I have some Hello Hobby needles I've been using, but I really have to get me more organ needles, and I've been trying to find them. And I think I'm gonna wind up have to call sewing machine plus.com or sewing parts, something like that online. One of those I'm gonna have to call those. And right now you see I'm just doodling with the white, getting the white part done on this. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go back and see what type of design I think will look better on the blue. Now, once I got that block done, I can travel using Stitch in the Ditch. From the edge of the quilt, I will travel down till I get to the next white block. And I might say, well, I like doing this, and I'm going to take four of the blocks and see what a spiral look like for in four of them. So I will start my stitching, doing a spiral, and ease my way back out. Since this part will be free motion quilting or ruler quilting, and come up that side. I'm just steady going around for 4 of them. And when I get to the edge, I'm bouncing back. Some people call it echoing. You can echo. Okay. And I use stitching the ditch to help me get my echo right. Come on down, stitching in the ditch. Echo that corner. Come around to the next corner. Echo. Okay. Now, this is how I got that one done. I'm trying to see if you can see the lines, the drawing. That's how I did that one. And they're going to blend in. I bag it up. See, am I holding my paper crooked? Bag it up. It'll blend in. It's like they're going to all be of the same kind of design. Okay, the next spiral, since I came out, stopped on this corner, since I stopped on this corner, if this helps some, I'm just going to use stitch in the ditch to come on to this corner. Come on that edge, using the stitch in the ditch, because once it's done on the edge and you put your binding on, all of this going to be covered. So, I have notification blocking. Okay, hello Joyce. How you doing? I'm so glad you could join me today. I'm just showing how I took a picture of my quilt top and I printed it out, and I printed more than one. You see, I have about 3 here of the same picture. And I do this because this one I'm drawing the spirals on it to see how the spiral will look on this lap quilt or a crib size quilt. And if I don't like that, I could take another one and go back and draw a different design. And I have about 3 here where I could just cut and, draw it out and see how it's gonna look. Because this is a picture of the exact quilt. So this is how I'm doing it. And when I get to this edge here, I stitch in the ditch and come on down where I can go in with the second spiral. I'm on my machine table and I have to be careful because it has a hold for where I open up the little doors to go into the bob, and then I don't want to just punch a hole straight through. But in quilting, the same way I draw this out, you have to take your time and do the same drawing methods on your sewing machine, whether it's domestic sewing or long arm sewing. Now, I'm back here, so I'm going to bounce back, do a little echoing, and then I'm going to go travel back, bounce back, do a little echoing, and then I travel that stitch in the ditch route and continue my echoes. Ooh, I better erase that one. I don't want one like that. I went a little wide. But see, that's the purpose of doing it on paper. You mess up on paper, it's okay. You can go back and fix that. And you know if you mess up on the machine, you can go back and fix that as well. So I'm going to echo this corner out. Stitch in the ditch. Go back. Echo this corner out. And voila. I have 2 done now here. I'm trying to, maybe I need to kind of angle it a little bit so y'all can get the view. This just helped give you ideas on how to quilt your quilt. And once you can learn how to do it yourself, or if you already know how to do it, that's a blessing for you. The ones that don't know how to do it, this is a good way to start off. You know, take a picture of your own project. The one you have to do. Take a picture of it and draw it, the design out. Draw it out, and once you get it all laid out and drawn out, you'll have it where you can visualize and look at it like this. Now, I'm going to go back and I'm going to spiral this block and this block. Let me hold it up. I'm going to spiral this 4 blocks and this one. So each one of these will have a spiral in it. I'm going to use my seam to stitch in the ditch to move around to get around them and that seam. And then as I go further over, get over, I'll do another design. Now I'm really liking the spirals. There is some more spirals that I want to try. And I'm going to be honest with y'all. I ain't good at this stuff. I'm learning as I go too. I like to share what I learned to help others. And I believe in doing it for free. Some people don't want to show you step by step how you doing it, how you take your time and place it, or how you lay it out. I'm trying to take my time and show y'all how I do it. Okay, let me get these over here. So I finished this one here. I'm going to come in on the top. Since this was the last one I finished, I'm going to come in like stitching on the ditch from this way. And I'm going to come in and start my spiral. So without saying too much more, I'm going in. I might be spiraling mine a little bit too tight because when I come back out of that spirals, it shows like I have a lot of stitches in there. Okay. I'm turning this paper around, okay? Echoing my spiral. Echo back. Using the seam line to bounce around to do the echoing all the way out. Stitch in the ditch, come across, go down. More echoes. And get the other corner. All right. I have that on the top. Try to angle it. Yeah, you can see it a little bit better now when I angled it. I'm doing them in 4 blocks, and these squares in this block is 2.5 inches squares, and they sewn together into a faux patch. Hello, Joyce. I'm doing good, Ellen. I hope you are too. Yes, I'm doing fine. Thank you for asking. Thank you. This just a nice technique to use. You could draw on the picture to keep from ruining your quilt, you know. Just experiment with your designs, what you want to use. From where I'm at down to these next 4 blocks, and I'm gonna do my spiral on these next 4, and then I'll jump over here. Now over here, I might, let me see. You know what? I think I'm gonna put some and signs in here in this center part here. Well, once I do that one, the spiral down, then I have this section here that I would do the ands. I'll show y'all what I'm talking about. Let me ease on down to the next block. Come on down, that stitch in the ditch. And okay. Get this spiral going on. To me, I think I like the tight spirals. It looks so cute when it's holding the fabric down. I'm doing echoes using my stitch in the ditch seam lines. Run that seam on up this side. Stitch in the ditch again. Bounce back. Gone around. Get the other corner. Stitch in the ditch. I mean, with this, you don't have to be afraid. And right here, I cut my thread. I stopped in the center of these blocks, so I would cut my thread there. Okay. Kind of show y'all what I got here. I don't know, when I'm straight on like that, it's kind of hard to see a little bit. Okay. Now, on this section here, where you see the little wave in the fabric in the quilt, you see the little wave in the quilt right here? That's because I didn't have it spread it out all the way. But this is the section I'm going to be doing the and. So let me show you what I'm talking about when I say a and. Now, by me free motion quilting this, I'm going to start from this bottom edge. I'm going to have to do some measurements too. And use this straight edge ruler to line this up with the big one. And just draw it straight down so everything will be lined up. Line up my stitch in the ditch. Now I'll show y'all what I did with the ruler. What's that? That's 1 inch. It's 1 inch. So I have to do the same thing on this side to get them lined up. Okay. If you can see here, over here, right here. Let me see, can I fold the paper where you can see the lines? Anyway, I have a line here that goes up and one on this side that I had to draw out with the straight edge ruler. But you know, when you machine quilting, you have to use a straight edge ruler and a ruler foot on your machine. And this is what I call the ands. I'm going to go start here. Erase it. I almost made it good, but I didn't turn my loop soon enough. Well, now, once you practice drawing these and you get that design in, it's a very beautiful design to me. A lot of times, designs be different, but let me see. Can y'all see that? Yeah, it's coming in. See how I did those? I call it the and sign, or some people might say the L's. But that's what I see going on there. Okay. Now this next section, I have some flying geese in there. Okay. The fabric is kind of laying like on a, you know what? What I'm going to do is I'm going to put another different stitch pattern in here. And I want to try some feathers. This is just something to try, to look at. And I'm going to use this section from, where it is. Okay, there's another star over here. This section here that goes across to over here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my straight edge ruler again, and I'm going to draw a straight line. I'm going to make it straight lines from here because it wasn't spread it all out when I took the picture. Okay. Can you see that line I got in here? Right here. Yeah, it going straight across with the ruler. I did it like that because I know my quilt wasn't all straightened out once I laid it out to take this picture. But this is the ideal and the suggestion of it. Now, in between my line here, where it got different blocks, flying geese and diamond and the squares, I'm going to measure that space. I'm going to measure that space on my quilt. Okay, on my drawing it says 2 inches even. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use what I have here. and say I'm gonna do the feathering. So I'm trying to go halfway. And it's kind of a little wavy. I want these hills and valleys to kind of, ooh, that's too much. I came all the way on the other side. It's supposed to be just a small little wavy line. Okay. Okay. So I just tried to eyeball it about halfway to make me a little wavy line. This is my wavy line going across. And I'm going to start on one side and get my feathers to go on. And I do go down one side for my feathers. And I don't make the best feathers, y'all. But I use what I have. I do. Let me see. I could redo that one, but be mindful of it when I'm actually stitching them in. I'm drawing just as if I would be stitching it in. And that what kind of helps me some to remember. You can't be afraid. You can just go, create you a sample blocks and practice with it. When you're practicing, you're not afraid to sew. You'll go ahead and do it the way you want. And when I get to the end on this side, I just make a loop on that end and come back down that spine. Ooh. I got a little off the spine, so I have to go back. I'm going to really have to take my time in going back to do these feathers. Oh, my message is covered. Joyce Handaz says, look good. I have to try this idea. Yes, it's help. I'm gonna show you in a minute. It's helping me. Well, I can show you now because I only have half of a row of my feathers right up here. See them? And when I got to the end, when I got to the end here, I looped it. Can you see that looped feather on the end right there? I looped the feathers like that's the head, like it been growing and growing and growing. But I come back down the spine so I can start my other side. And on this other side, I'm gonna just start. And I'm going into I'm not real good, but practice. I tell everybody you have to practice. Even if you're just drawing it on some paper. Getting that practice in really will help. Okay. I'm about to make it to the end, y'all. All right. Okay. Now, I got my feather line in. You can see that's where I chose to end it. And I bumped me a tail, the head of the feather, and then I went back down the spine. Traveled back all the way back to the base end, and then I came up the other side. They're not perfect. It's just an idea of how you can quilt it. And by me measuring it off and drawing lines to go by, oh, excuse me, I can go back and echo that feather if I want to, because if you look closely, I have a little space left here and there. I can echo that. Just echo it, and I can draw stems if I want stems in it. Using free motion quilting, that means without the ruler. They do have some rulers you can take, like the bunny ears. You can use those if you want to use them as a guide. Use a smaller bunny ear, and you can go back and it'll help you make that stem in the feathers. Or you can echo them. It's up to you. I'm just sharing you some ideas that I could use and how I do it, how I figure things out. And on the other side of this feather line, I'm going to go back to my spirals. Because it's more blocks like these here, the squares, on the other side. And while I'm talking, let me show you the top. Okay. And I finished another top too. So, let me just show them to you right quick. Okay. If y'all can see, this is the blue one. And it's pretty big. It could be a quilt, lap size quilt. It have stars, one on this end and one on this end, and then the center. And the center is the piece where I think I have the feathers going across. And I'm going to hang this back on my little quilt rack here. And let me show you the other one. Okay, this one here is one I had put together, sort of like the red birthday squares y'all see I have already done, and I put them in a little fixed kit or something. And this is the orange. This is orange and African print fabric. I purchased this African print fabric when I was in Mississippi, and during the time I was in Mississippi, I used to travel from Mississippi to Tennessee, Memphis, Tennessee, or Dallas, Texas, or Arlington, Texas. And I used to go by some of the African stores, and they had all this beautiful fabric. Y'all know me, it coming to 6 yards cuts, and I purchased me some. I had quite a bit I purchased. And I started working on it and cutting it up to use it into quilts like this, to get the tops, get them done. Because I ain't want to just let it sit around. And I'm going to put this one back over here. Ugh. Okay. And that's another one I will be doing. And I have this one I started with y'all on using what you have to quilt your quilts, where I took a plate. You can take a plate, a saucer, a coffee cup. You can take anything with squares, triangles, rectangles, and different things with different shapes. Even like my scissors, the top to my scissors box here from a pickle jar, you can take that. That could be the center of a beautiful flower that you can incorporate on some of your quilting designs. Oh, Joy says, I'm doing good, Ellen. Okay, I've read that. Hi, Marie. Marie H. How you doing? She said, hi, Miss Ellen and everyone. Popping in to say hi. Blue quilt is beautiful. Thank you. Joy says, both are just beautiful. Thank you, Joyce. Maria said, very pretty. I'm so glad y'all could join me today for a little while. I had been sick pretty bad, y'all, and it kind of threw me behind on a lot of stuff. Since I've been up, I'm trying to do what I need to do to keep things going for me. And I love doing this. I love sewing. And even when I was sick, I still was trying to sew, y'all. So I love sewing, and I made a bunch of these here. I think I left them. I think I left them upstairs, but I had cut out more than I needed. But I'm saving these because these are the pattern, the designs to the sanitary pads that I made. And there are the small ones for like teens or somebody small. Those are good, and I made a few more of those. It's just certain things when it come on me to make it, I just try to sit down and go and make up a few. I have notifications, y'all, that popped up, got me blocked. Okay, got that cleared. And doing this like this to show y'all how you can design your very own quilt. Even if you send it out to a quilt and you want it done, if you want to get one custom quilted, and if you can take a picture of your quilt and take your time and kind of draw out what it is that you wanted on that quilt, and once you send it to your quilter, you can put the design in there as well and let them know this is the design I want and this is the design I'm choosing. And I'm not even done with this. I have some up here that have to be filled in, and I have to go back and fill in this star. And also on this side of the star is going to be another star and another star. It's like a star on each corner. Maria said, glad you are feeling better. It's so cold here right now. It is 1 1 degree, -1 in Wisconsin. Oh my goodness. Now that's cold. That is cold. I have a brother that lives in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I went up there one winter. He was driving semi-truck and he parked his truck. His truck had to get some kind of service work did on it. And me and my niece wound up going to Chicago, picked him up in Chicago and took him to Wisconsin to his house so he can get something from his house and go back to his truck. And when we got there, I said, "Oh, brother, how do you live up here?" I'm like, "You from down there where all the heat at, where you can look out down the street and you see the little heat waves jumping like little monkeys, they call them. And you came up here in this winter wonderland to live." I said, "I don't see how you do it." He tried to get me to move up there. And I'm like, "I can't do it. I can't do it. I'm sorry." Indiana is cold too. We got some snow here. It's cold here and ice and snow on the ground, but Milwaukee is much, much worse. It's when I hear Milwaukee, I'm hearing Minnesota. I'm hearing Canada. I'm hearing all of those northern regions. I can't do it. Now, this is the season for me if I was traveling to go south. I tell my daughter, my nieces, my cousin, everybody, I'm like the geese and the ducks. It's time to fly south. Joyce says it's 14, -14 here in, how you pronounce that, Warland, Wyoming? Oh my goodness. Y'all in some cold temperature. I'm going to say some prayers for y'all. This winter is, it's cold. You're right. Brr, cold. Saying it's supposed to start warming up today, but it's 24 since last Saturday. Y'all, bless y'all heart. Bless y'all heart. That's all I can say. Bless your heart. I mean, I'm from the South, the dirty Mississippi South. And this is cold enough where I'm at here in Indiana, but it's too cold for me too. Anytime it get cold like this, I'm ready to go home. Even though, Mississippi get cold too, but it's not like this. It's not like this. A lot of time, the Delta regional area gets skipped over when bad weather is coming. It's like what they say, the clouds or the jet streams in the air push everything around, and when they go around, it'll hit Jackson, it'll hit Brandon, or it will hit different areas down further south. And I be thanking God it went around me. I can't take it. That's a lot of. And y'all know what else I learned? This a number 2 pencil, right? I got some pencils that you can take your pencil. If your fabric is not too light and you test it where you can write on your fabric. I don't want to write on my machine, but you write on your fabric and then you go back and see with this eraser, relift it up out of that fabric. But once you're done quilting what you want to quilt, as you use a pencil on this light fabric to kind of mark it a little bit, or do dot-to-dot quilting on it, that helps a lot too. And then when you go back, you can erase. Take your time and just erase. Get you one of those big eraser. Erase the markings out of the quilt. go wash it. It'll help lift the graphites from the lid, and it'll come out looking beautiful. I also used to use this stain remover. Lord, if I can think of the name. Era. They used to make some stuff called Era that you can put on the stain and kind of massage it in a little bit. And once you put it into the wash, all of that'll come right on out. Um, Let me see. Oh, Maria said, me too. I came here from Florida, but I didn't expect it to be this cold. But I came to love with my daughter, live with your daughter and family. So I really have no choice to live on my own financially. Oh, okay. That's fine, Maria. We have to do that. And even now, I have to have help. I have nurses to come see me 2 or 3 times a week to help me out, and my daughter, my granddaughter, just different family members. They'll come and help me some. And a lot of people I meet have been in the higher age, like 80s, 75, 80, something like that, and be telling me, oh, you just a baby and you so sick. I just kindly explain to them, yes, ma'am, I am. The life I live involves some major hand-on work. The life I live, I had to work every day. And I ain't talking about going to McDonald's and frying no fries and flipping no burger. I'm talking about I grew up on a homestead where we had to cut firewood, burst firewood. We had to go feed the chickens and harvest the eggs and watch out for snakes while you're doing that, and feed the hogs. Make sure they can't escape their pen and stuff. We had about 4 truck patch, and those are just large gardens we call truck patch. And we had to work those gardens. Y'all know that thing we call the hoe? I call it the one I ply. Because we pretty much plied the whole field with that hoe. We had to get all the grass out of the garden. We had carrots and onion and eggplants and bell peppers and cabbage greens and collard greens and lettuce and pickles. And we had, I said, corn, peas, purple hub peas. What's the thing? Sometimes we'll have a whole field of purple hub peas that we have to harvest, shell them by hand, because back then, we didn't have the electric machine that'll become the pea sheller. They have it now, but we didn't have it back then. The different kinds of corns that you can plant. You can have the sweet corn, you can have field corn, or you can have the popcorn, and you plant them all with grains. We had the beans you can plant, the snap beans, okra. We had like so many rows was in okra, so many rows we in watermelon, cantaloupe, just different food. And we had one area where we just grew greens. We did a mixture of turnip and mustard greens. And once you dished it up, you go out there and throw your seeds out there with the birds and all. Throw it out there and they'll grow. When I grew up, we had 2 tractors. We had one of the old time International. We just call it an N. Get the M. We gonna get on the M. And we had the little Ford Fire Mall. A lot of time I used to get a brother on the big old International, and those old International, you can take the small Ford tractor and pull the International tractor with it, jump it off, and once you get up to speed, He just hit the clutch and it cranks right up. And I was like, wow, okay. Now we got to stop, unhook the chains and stuff. And I'm taking my tractor back into the yard because he gonna use the bigger tractor to go into the wood and pull a trailer load of firewood or something out the woods. And life, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. I do. That's where I learned how to can. My mama taught me how to can vegetables and different soups and stuff you can make from stuff from the garden. And you take some sugar gel, we call it sugar gel, and put a little on the top once you done, and you seal your top. Once you seal your top, and then we have a stock pot. You take your mason jars and put them all in the stock pot with water and let them boil. Let them boil a little while. Then once they boil, you have to let them cool down before you can remove them from the pot. And my mama got blessed to get her one of those big pressure cookers. I don't want to mention it, but these pressure cookers, I used to couldn't stand them things. Oh my God. If you mess with a pressure cooker at the wrong time, all that steam gonna come out and you're gonna be burnt. I'm just sitting here reminiscing because this bring back memories for me, y'all. I'm just remembering so much. And we had, even though our house was like a flat brick house, something maybe sort of to a bungalow, but it was a 3-bedroom brick house. It was nice enough for all of us. And my mama had 9 children, and the 2 oldest, when I was big enough to walk around, the 2 oldest was grown. They left home. My oldest brother went to the army, and the next oldest brother went to the steel mill, which is why Indiana is so special. And both of them wind up working in a steel mill, though. But that's how my family really kind of drafted to Indiana, and it was due to work. And my mom used to love sewing and love quilting. And when I showed this quilt here, it's a 4-year-old quilt that I started. I had made the blocks, and a lot of my blocks was a little wonky. The edges wasn't necessarily meeting. And I'm thinking that might be because when I cut my blocks, I cut with scissors. And they was not the Guggenheimer scissors. They was just regular scissors I can get from the dollar store to cut my fabric. So I pretty much cut them the best I could with what I had. And once I got here to Indiana, and I'm still sewing and I'm still learning and I'm still sharing what I have and what I know, I decided it was time I went on put this together into a quilt. Even if it didn't be excuse my speech, but even if it was not a huge quilt, I wanted to finish it if it was just a lap quilt. And this is what I came out with. So I'm going to stop on this area here because when I come on up, I can barely see this up here, which is a star. I have a star on all 4 corners, and this is my plan. Unless something else come to mind or hit me, then I would probably check into that. So let me see. Maria says the only good thing about the winter is getting my sewing done. I'm sorry, but I'm laughing, Maria, because you are so on point. That is my thing, too. When it's cold, I can come down here. That's why I was telling y'all that this is a good way to design your own quilt so you could be the one to finish your quilt, to get it done. And I have a stack of them over here to get done. I have a stack to get done. And while I'm doing this, I still have the basket with the quilts that I have to go ahead and put together along with the elephant. Um, I got that elephant for my birthday last year. And that's in July, y'all. So it's been hanging for a while. When it started cooling down, I went to getting sick, and I'm like, what's going on here? What's wrong with me? So I have to be careful now because I know my granddaughter going to school, and I think we're gonna switch her to private school or something. We gotta do something better than this. We'll get it figured out soon. But Maria was saying, I remember era. Yes, yes. Joy says, so true. Okay, she's talking to somebody else. I'm sorry. Joy saying, you're coming in and out here, so guess I'll say, have a good day, stay warm, and God bless everyone. Thank you, Joyce, for coming in. Thank you. I'm sorry if my signal kind of jumping in and out. We got ice outside. So that will make it kind of jump and mess around a little bit. Stay warm, Joyce. I'll be praying for y'all. You too, Maria, because if you in Wisconsin, y'all in some cold areas. It's a very nice design. Thank you. I appreciate it. I didn't finish the blue on this star right here, but I think I'll throw in some, if I can say it right, knee mandarin. Throw in some small, tiny kind of micro knee mandarin into the stars, the blue field. I'm going to do one. Oh, excuse me. Let me get a drink of water. Excuse me a minute here. I'm going to do one with the mandarin for the stars just to see how it's going to look. And if it look pretty good, that's the design I use. But I have my ruler base. I have my ruler, and this is an omni grid that I'll be using as my small straight edge. And these here is this is the spiral. Remember, I got this at one of the quilt shows I went to for $1, and the tag is still on there, so you know I'm not fibbing. That's $1, and I got this one as well, the mandarin, for $1 as well. It's upside down, but it's on there. And I have some more rulers that is coming in probably by the weekend. I have the bunny foot kit coming in, and I have the, what they call it, the spiral flower. I have the shell, and I have the, it's kind of like a triangle, but it's not a triangle. It's kind of almost hectic try, but I have one of those coming too. And if anybody interested in finding some rulers, getting the rulers and need them fast and need them cheap, do try Temu. This is not a sponsor advertising. It's to help my fellow quilters. I know how expensive some of those rulers can be. And I think I have all the ones coming in I got for around $30. 32 or something like that. $30 for all of them, and they come in sets of 4s. And I was blessed to get 2 of the sets for free. I used the coupon, so I have that coming in. When it come in, I'll do another video or a short something to share them with y'all to let y'all know that I got them. Yes, they is. They are very handy temper plates. Um, the thing for me is basing the quilts. Basing the quilts. Basing large quilts are more of a struggle for me than the lap quilts because I can do a lap quilt better. But basing the quilts are more of a struggle for me because I have to take my time and lay them all out. And I need a flat surface and I have to get them laid out. And I know I'm about to base, so I have to turn the right side of my lining face down. And then I go and add in my batting and then the top. And then I kind of fold them by hand until I'm ready to put my tags in it from the tag gun I used to base them with. I mean, the tag gun is wonderful because I can take that needle on the tag gun and I can put it in my quilt. And if it's not too thick or heavy, I can do it just like a needle as if I'm sewing. And when I pull that trigger, if my tag is 2 inches, I have at least 2 inches of space. So when I pull that trigger, one end gonna be on that side, and when I bag out, it gonna stretch out and lay flat. That's pretty much how I do it. I fold it in like a stitch, and I pull that trigger, and it holds it there. So it's pretty much like I got a tied quilt, and it's tied with a tag gun. But it works for me, and that's what I use. And I found when I'm sewing on this machine, if I hit one of those tags, it don't break my needle. It don't break my needle. And I really, really like that part. Pretty much. So now with my rulers on the way, and I have a ruler foot around here somewhere. But if I can't find that ruler foot, believe me, Amazon gonna up me a ruler fit to go on this machine. Now I need to get them all checked out because I have a I have a brother sewing machine upstairs. It's an older model. I love those older model machines, y'all. I be trying to break my back to get to an older model machine. The black seniors, the big ones. Oh, I love them. I love them. I love them. I seen one somebody had on sale on the marketplace, Facebook marketplace, with the one you paddle with your feet. Let me tell y'all, I have sold on one of those machines before. And I love it because you're not pulling any power. You're not pulling in a juice. It got a big old belt on it where when you paddle with your foot, that belt is turning and it makes the needle go up and down. And that machine's so good. It's so very good. And my sister-in-law had it. And when I found out it was working, I started sewing on that machine. She got me in and showed me how she make her skirts and stuff. I'm sorry if I'm rambling, y'all, but I love sewing. I got a notification come up. Hi, Betty Harris. She says, hi, Miss Ellen. I am snowed in, just quilting today. I'm sorry to hear that. I pray y'all be all right. It's been a lot of bad weather going on. A lot of bad weather. I have snow as well, but I can get out right now. If more snow come in, then it's gonna be a problem. Maria H said, I'm calling her Harris. Lord help me. Maria says, me too. I have to get on the floor to do mine. You know, I done did that before too. I done did that before, get on the floor. What I would do on the floor is I will have my thread. I will have a stronger version of thread. I get everything laid out on the floor, get it spread out where it won't be no wrinkles and stuff. And I will sew my quilts from one corner all the way around. I sew it all the way around so it won't nothing move. But when you hand basting like that, you have to go back and run at least 3 seams crossways, you know, cross the quilt so it won't nothing slide and shift like that on you. And once you get it to stay like that, then you can go to your machine and sew what you want. You can sew what you want. And oh, let me show y'all this. Y'all might have seen some of this already. But I've been kind of yarning to do my own quilts more, to take my time and do it myself. So I started taking some classes, y'all, with Sew Steady. See here? Sew Steady. And it's sewsteady.com. And some of the classes they can offer you for free, and some you have to pay and buy. And they're not very hard. They're pretty easy. And a lot of them you have to make you a sandwich. You have to pay attention to what they're telling you. Make you a sandwich and practice. And they said once you practice and get it, excuse me, you have to do them. I'm sorry. You have to do your little practice sample and take pictures and send it in. A lot of time they might ask you what kind of thread you use, but whatever the lesson be, I think that is so awesome. It's a lot of people around here offering these classes now, but I learned with Sew Steady, they using Westerly rulers design. Let me see if you can see that. Westerly rulers. I'm not so good at trying to share something in this thing. Sew Steady, and I have 2 different certifications here. And they give you serial numbers on them. So you know you can watch the serial numbers and you can know that they are different. And my name on there is, can you see that? Ellen 16. And Home Quilter Certification. I got that one. And I printed out oh, 1W9. Okay. This is the print I got through my email of the certification. And then I found a second class. I went back. Okay. I went back. I only have part of it, but I have this certification here. And it gives me the date and every time, you know, you're taking and stuff. And it say awarded to certification. That one still said Home Quilters. Let's see, what did I miss? Home Quilters. Did I get them all? I have 2 of them. I don't know if I have it in here, but I have 2 of the certifications. And I'm trying to keep all these together so I can put them in a frame. And I want to put them on the wall in my sewing area here somewhere. And this is another practice, something I have did long time ago. And y'all gonna see the difference in me practicing. And the date on here with tape across it said January the 17th, 2021. This back in 2021. See that date? And it's covered with tape. And this is one of the star blocks. I was coming across getting a lot of the star blocks, and I was trying to figure out a design to do one of my quilts that had a lot of stars in it. And I liked it, the feather. I saw somebody do the feather, and I tried. It didn't come out so great on paper, but I did try. And when I'm able, I just go back and try this again. But the way I do it this time is I'm going to take a picture. I'm going to take a picture of the star, print me out 4 or 5. Then I can go back and try different designs on it. That's why I was trying to share with y'all today, and how I could design this quilt by just taking a picture of the quilt and using a pencil or ink pen, whatever works for y'all. I'm trying to turn it so maybe y'all can kind of see the writing. There it go. And by the halfway mark, I did like a row of feathers. And I have to measure that out so I know how to do my feathers. And I'm just going to take my time and learn this and do it. And on this as well, I printed out, I have like 3 prints of this here. So if I get another design idea come to mind, I can go back and try it again to make it look the best I can do. And I'm in here live trying to share with y'all today how I do it, how I can make it look better, how I can make it on my own, on my domestic sewing machine. Quilting can be very expensive during this time when things are tight and it's cold. Instead of going outside in the cold, I can sit down and do some of these quilts up I have. I counted up my quilts the other day, and I have about, I have 19 quilt tops I need to do. I have the 4 or 5 in that basket here that I showed y'all earlier that has to be completed. And when I'm done, that gonna be 4 or 5 added to the 19 I already have. And then I have 4. I'm thinking about 6 already done. Then I have this elephant I want to do, which is on my mind so bad. And my thing with this elephant on the wall is my birthday elephant, but I have some zebra print. What the name of that fabric? I forgot what you call it. But I have a lot of it, and I'm gonna make it into a full cover to cover a bed, a big bed, and then I'm gonna applicate this elephant to the center of it. And I still can't think of the name of this fabric. It's not cotton fabric. It could be cotton made, but it's the sack, what you used to make sacks with. What the name of that? I call it, yeah, it didn't slip my mind, but I think it's gonna look really good. It's a beige and black. And then I'm gonna put that on the top, and all of them kind of tie in there. It's gonna have like the African print with the zebra stripe sack fabric with this elephant, which is African elephant on top. Now it could be an Indian elephant too because it has so much going on in the texture of it, but I love it. And the store I purchased that from, I've been intending to go back, and I haven't been back yet. It's cold outside, and I don't think I'm gonna go back while it's cold and ice on the ground. But when I do go back, I hope I go back in time enough to get me quite a few more panels. They had a bunch of scenery panels. They had turtles and elephants, butterflies, and it was just pretty. And I want to get a few. Design them out like this and use my rulers. And I'm trying to keep all my little rulers and stuff together now. I have a notification popped up. Quilting. Oh, okay. Keeping all these ruler foots together, and I have a few templates I have in the box, but I have them in here because it's a smaller ruler. And this one here was designed by Darlene Zeberman, and it's with simplicity.com. And they got the little star on here. Say easy with the little star. I don't know if y'all can see that, but and I got it cheap on sale. And I got this ruler for $1. I want y'all to see it. And y'all see it's the template plate for the Dresden plate. And I have a Dresden plate to put together. And I have a kit somewhere that I had started to sew on making the Dresden plates. But I don't know if it's the round end or the pointed end. And it might be in my storage right about now. But I'm trying to keep all this stuff together so I can organize my sewing space and get things where I know where my items belong. I do have 2 gigantic, large filing cabinets that I still haven't got in this basement. I mean, big ones. I get it down here, they'll be down here, but I'm going to catch the blues to get them out of here. I have to find me a few strong men, to bring them down here, but I love those. On a past video, I used to talk about them so much where the top of these drawers slide forward, then the top lift up. Oh, excuse me. And when it lifts like that, I plan to put all my books in the top. That means I have 2 spaces because I have 2 of these big filing cabinets. There'll be 2 spaces just for my catalogs, my patterns. I even have patterns that I used to get when I was in Mississippi. I used to get these like this. I ain't gonna show all the stuff. I guess I'm gonna do a quick flip like that. I got patterns like that. I got to file and put them away where I can keep up with my stuff. I have books on the stand over here. I shared with y'all a book I have called the Lone Star Quilt Handbook. I want to make the Lone Star quilt. And I got notifications, y'all. I can't see y'all comment. Hi, Denise Patrick 33. I'm so sorry I ain't see you come in. Maria was saying, oh, that's a good design. Thank you, Maria. Maria says, yes, I've got 7 grands and 2 greats, and I have done 3 of the grands so far. That's awesome. I mean, for me, it's kind of easier when I'm making the tops, but once I get them made, I got to get them quilted up too. So that's when I started quilting them myself. And trust me, I do want a long arm, and I could fit up to a 12-foot frame in this basement. And I'm just patiently waiting. I'm patiently waiting. And I have this frame back here. This quilt here's on. It's the cutie frame. It's small, but it expands too. And I really don't need to expand it right now because I'm using small machines on it. And when you use a small machine, it's depending on the throat that's already on the machine. Because my Juki here is a 9-inch throat. But when I get it on that cutie frame, I ain't got about 5 inches of space to work with. So I have to design my quilts into every 5 inches. Every 5 inches. And can you imagine 5 inches going down to about 120 inches in length? 5 going to 120. That's how many rows I have to repeat to finish that quilt top. And I'm just patiently waiting. I ain't finna jump up and put myself in debt right now. I'm just gonna sit this one out and wait it out. And then hopefully, and like I said, hopefully, I'll be able to get me one cash. Denise So Patchy 33 was saying hello, and I was saying hi. How's y'all weather out that way? Hi, okay. And one of the greats. Okay. That's good. That is very good. I'm glad. Y'all know what I'm gonna do, which it just came to me. If y'all would like for me to share some of y'all pictures on my channel when I'm going live, email them to me. I left the email in the description of my video. And once I receive your picture and the name you name the quilt, and I will let everybody know you made it, and I will do it live here from my channel. Very colorful. That is. I see a lot of people making those legit kit quilts too. Those are very beautiful. I supposed to have been going to their headquarters. I got invited to come to the headquarters. They teach a lot of classes there too. And I met the lady. Let me see. I have to exit here. I shared her picture on my YouTube channel. Let's see. Go here. I might not have to exit all the way. Let's see. See, can I find our picture? Her name is Donna. Yeah, I think I'm saying the right. She's so nice. She was working on the bird pattern when I met her at this quilt show. And she was so nice. She was so sweet. And when she was explaining to me, she was with legit kits and they have more patterns coming out, but she can't say what they is right then. And I'm not going to say either. But I really enjoyed talking with her. I really enjoyed meeting her. And you'll be surprised who you can meet at these quilt shows. I never would have thought I'd meet somebody that traveled the world, traveled the country. Here she is. Let me move my video up. Remember that picture? If y'all can see it, that's Miss Donna. And she's with legit quilt kits. I have met so many wonderful people by living here in Indiana. And I said to myself, when I was going to go to these quilt shows and see what was going on. But when I first got here, I didn't know anything about it. I didn't know where to go. I didn't know about the home extension office. I didn't know anything. Now I know. Now I'm a part of it. Now I can do something and help somebody or just enjoy. It was such an honor to meet her. She was telling me the patterns they had, and this is the shop. I don't know if you can see that. That's the shop she was telling me about. They call it Common Threads. And that's a beautiful quilt they had made with their name and that picture and the machine and stuff on it. It was beautiful. So I just took a picture of that too. And if y'all can, yeah, get out there, experience some of these quilt shows. I mean, the one I went to, it wasn't very expensive because it was here in town. It was like a local show. And I never met so many beautiful people, y'all, before in my life. I'm happy I did. I'm very happy I did. I have my friend lady, Miss Ruth. She has a quilt shop here and she's wonderful. Just wonderful. Anything changes or happens, she'll inform you and let you know. Um, Maria said, I recently bought a new extension table for quilting on my Juki. I had to buy the new foot that is turn it so I can make my Juki into a sit down long arm in a sense by turning my machine straight on. Okay, I know what you're talking about. You're talking about this part turned to you out like this. I have sewn like that before too. Um, Maria said, I hope it gets okay. This quilt will be the first that I try it on. Oh, that's sweet. Send me a picture. I love to see what it looked like when you finish it. Maybe if if it's okay, I could share it with everybody else. Miss Betty Harris says, I always wanted to go to a quilt show. I did too, but you know, it depends on where you living at because where I come from was a rural area and all I known was sewing in the house. Sewing on my hands, sew in the house, put up the frames. We even had history of frames being mounted to the ceiling where you got to you got company coming, you got to stop sewing, mark your spot and raise your frame to the ceiling and lock it down so it won't fall. I done experienced some of it all. I have. Okay. Okay, it sounds good, but if you can get out and experience going to a quilt shop, going to a quilt show, please go. Because sometimes it ain't but $5 to get in. It might be $3, depending on what it is. It's not that much to get in. My plans here, I want to get all my stuff quilted up so I could do a private quilt show in my hometown. I ain't asked nobody or told nobody, y'all. This is just a secret plan. And I would love to do it because it's so many people out there that sews and quilt. And sometimes they might feel like they don't have an outlet or they don't know anybody. That's why I used to go to the thrift stores a lot before the C word. You know what I'm talking about. I used to go get the fabric from the thrift stores and I used to take that fabric, cut them up into kits, and which get back into cutting up into my kits because I like playing the games. I do the giveaways. I'm gonna get back in it, but I was mainly doing the kits. So when I meet a teenager and they into sewing and they want to learn how to quilt and stuff, if I can teach them the basic on how to get started and how to put together their first quilt, I can give them the kit and saying, okay, this is for you. Let me see what you can do. I done showed you, taught you how to make your seams and press your seams open. And yes, I teach everybody to press their seam open. Reason for me teaching them to press that seam open is because once you make your seam and you press that seam open, and if your quilt wind up going to a long arm, excuse me. If it go to a long armor, that long armor is gonna appreciate your top because all of your seams are pressed open. That means no bulk. When they needle get to that joint, it's just gonna glide right on through it, right on over it. And that has been an issue for me. I used to press my seams to one side because I used to see a lot of people pressing their seams. But sometimes when you sewing, your seam will fold back on you. I can't handle that fold back. I don't like the fold back. So I press all of my seams open to reduce the bulkiness when it getting quilted. And I also like doing my quilting batting, but I also like putting a layer of felt in my quilt. And that layer of felt is always next to the top of the quilt. Because once you cover up, you have the lining, then you have the batting, and then I have the felt, and then the top of the quilt. The reason for me doing it like that is once you under them, that felt is an extra warmth protection. Those are some of the warmest quilts that I have ever made is with felt. And I'm going to tell you, if you had one on your bed, you would keep it there. I add my batting, but the batting I use, I think is 80/20. And I add that layer of felt across the top, then the top of the quilt. And once I'm sewing it, it's not as heavy as a regular padded out quilt. Because y'all know I'm old school. We used to pad some quilts out. We could take pants, y'all. It could be knit pants. And say I got a whole bag of knit pants and I'm going through and I'm cutting off the legs and I'm cutting open seams, laying them out, getting them seams out of there so I can just lay my fabric right sides together and re-sew a seam till it covers the whole bed, like a quilt top. Once you get it done like that, you lay that inside the quilt and you go back. You got more, you make another one. Wide as you need it to fit that quilt, lay it inside the quilt. Now with that backing lining, the 2 layers you just made out of scrap pants, and then you put the top on. But before I put my top on, I have to put that little layer of felt in there. That's the warmest quilt you ever want to sleep under. And if y'all don't believe it's warm, just try it. Give it a test. Oh, I'm sorry. I got more notifications up. Let me make sure I didn't miss anyone comment. It says, I hope it goes. It goes. Okay, this quilt will be the first that I would try it on. That's cool. Betty Harris says, I always wanted to go to a quilt show. I read that one. Yeah, that is awesome. I wish I could get the opportunity to go to one and experience one. Even if it's not one of the big shows like QuiltCon or some of the other shows be in Pennsylvania or somewhere like that, go to something a little bit closer to you just to get that experience. And that's what I do. Okay. Okay, Maria said, my lunch is ready, so I must go. Have a great day, everyone. So good to see you, Miss Ellen, and everyone. Thank you for coming in. Do remember to give me the thumbs up before y'all go. I much appreciate it. It'll help my algorithm in YouTube so others can find my channel. Miss Harris says, I went to, is that Branson? And saw, oh, I can't make that out. And saw some Amish quilts. They do beautiful work. What you talking about? A Amish quilt is worth every penny they ask for. Do some incredible work, and a lot of their work is hand sewn. Hand sewn. So yes, they do some beautiful work. Okay. Miss Betty Harris says, I've been using upholstery fabric as my filter. Oh, yes, you can. I have done that. Use upholstery fabric, and I have. The name of that fabric is burlap. The one I'm talking about with the zebra print, the burlap. That's what I'm gonna use, the zebra print burlaps with that. But I'm using that because this burlap feel like it's cotton, and I have rows and quite a few rows of upholstery fabric. It's heavier, it's sturdier, and I have some new rows that I got from somebody that used to do sampling for a company, and they just had a bunch of it and wanted to get rid of it, and they just gave it to me, told me just be him, pick it up. I said, okay. When I got through packing my van, y'all, this is a Chevrolet Astro cargo van. And when I got through, I had no space left in the van. I had rows after rows stacked all the way up to the ceiling. Brought it all. Well, I ain't got it all in here now. I have some in here and the rest of it in storage. And I want to share some of this stuff. I want to share some of it because I don't think I can ever use it all. That's why I go to the thrift stores when I see deals and stuff. I get it. I got some stuff I'm supposed to been sent off to somebody a while back, and I have not done so. I apologize to them, but I gotta get it in the mail. Every time I promise I want to do something, when I go out, it's like I'm almost scared to go out because I don't want to get sick. And I got a text message from one of my pharmacies saying, look, we need to tell you, this is a warning. Your area has had this in it, and you could come get the vaccine or just be warned that it's out there, and you can come in contact with somebody there and you're going to be sick again. I'm like, I don't want to be sick no more. I done been sick enough. I got something blocking. So, hi, JoJo Mom. What kind of felt do you use? I use the felt that you can go to Walmart and it's on the squirrel storage thing. And if they having a sale, I have found some on sale for like 50 cents a yard. And I bought practically almost all of what they had. I got what my money would let me buy. And it was a lot of it, a lot of it. And you know, with the felt you get from Walmart, it opened out. And when you open it out, it at its widest point. So what I do is I measure from the head of the bed to the foot of the bed and how much I want draping. And I just cut it, measure that length, cut another piece, sew them on one edge down. And when I get that sewn, I press it open. And I also use a 5/8. I use a 5/8 seam allowance when I'm sewing it. So when I press it open, I go back and run a stitch down each side of that seam to hold it open and keep it open. That way, whoever quilted for me won't encounter that bulk. So that helps hold it. And it be so warm. Now when I make a quilt, if I make, I got one of my daughters that love my quilts. And when she want a quilt, she always tell me, Mama, use felt in my quilt. And so that's what I do for her quilt. I put felt in it. And she said, I said, ask her why she want felt all the time. And she said, cause it be so warm. She said, Mama, when I have that quilt on my bed, I don't need my heater on. And I'm like, what? She opened my eyes to it. So I said, okay, I put felt in all of them. So all my quilts are basically for warmth, except the ones I have for show quilts. Sewing Sensation by Shady Susan. Hi, Shady Susan. How you doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome. She said, good afternoon, Miss Ellen. Campbell's Creation, learning to quilt and sew. Thank you for joining us. Y'all remember, do give me the thumbs up. If anybody in here new to my channel, please click the subscribe button to kind of help my channel grow some more. And I do like sharing tips on things I've learned over the years while sewing, especially if you have used sewing machines, the older models, the ones that don't come with all this gear and stuff on top. I don't have a cup with me now, but y'all know the drinking cups. Oh, excuse me. Hold on. Okay, I'm looking for a cup, and I don't even have my own down here because I have a bottle of water. But it's the cups that you can get, and they're the tall, like tumbler cups, but they have the straw in the middle of them. The straw is in the middle, and they can be plastic. It's okay if they plastic, but I like sharing this tip. On my older machine, I used to buy those cups, and I used to put my cone spools of thread in that cup. And when I put my thread in that cup, I thread my thread up through the center hole, and I come on up with it and thread my machine with it. Even if I had to set my cup on the floor, and the thread come up to the machine, it was traveling freely. I didn't have anything to block it or make it get stuck or hung or caught on. It would come all the way up, and I can thread my machine, and I could sew from that whole cone spool of thread. And I had got gifted some big, large factory spools of thread. And you know, you see them big spools of thread be so big like this, and you be like, they used an industrial machine with this because I ain't got nothing that'll fit. Don't refuse your thread. Get that thread. Even if you have to take a pot out the kitchen, take that pot and set spool of thread in that pot so it won't get dirty, won't collect dust from rubbing across the floor or fumbling, however do. Set it in that pot. If you don't have anything to run it up through, put you some aluminum foil across the pot and thread it through a hole in the foil where it can just feed up freely. That aluminum foil acts like it'll act as the netting for the thread. And when it come up through, it just feed through thoroughly. You can go on and use it whether you're gonna do couching, um, quilting with that thread, or whether you're gonna use just however you decide you're gonna use it, you can use it. Yes. Okay, tell her give me a minute. I'm still live. Okay, thank you. I was gonna show y'all some, but I guess I have to pull some out on the next video. I'm gonna have to go ahead and end this video here. I want to thank each and every one of y'all for coming in and saying hello. Even if you catch it on the replay, do shout out a hello. I respond back. I love hearing from my friends all across the world. And y'all, let's keep quilting together. Let's just keep quilting together and sharing ideas and sharing plans and thoughts. Not so much of what you're gonna do, but do it and then share it so others can join in with you. I love that. I love it. I have a few sew-alongs I got behind on. I got to catch up, and I'm going to catch up. I'm going to get some of my patterns did. I want to do the long star, and I got more stuff I want to do, but I want to get this quilted up, and this going to be the winner for me to get it done. So thank you. Thank y'all for coming in. Do like, comment, and share my video. I appreciate it. And let me see, did I miss the comment? Jojo Mom says, okay, thanks. I'm going to try using it on my next quilt. Yes. Let me know how it come out, Jojo Moms. She said, bye. Thanks for sharing. You're welcome. Sewing Sensations, Shady Susan says, wait a minute. She says, have a blessed day, Miss Ellen. Thank you. Y'all have a blessed day. Stay warm and stay safe. Bye now. Bye.